Happy Saturday. It's June 21st, 2025, and we're here today. We're just going to help and support one another as a community. Um, it's our regular bi-weekly Recoupers live chat where we just come in together as a community and we try to support each other on any of the topics. There's no topics. There's no limit to any topic that you guys want to talk about as long as it's within Recoupers and the realm of what we do here. Um, we don't know about other people's processes that are not within Recoupers that we've posted about. So refrain from asking those type of questions because we don't know what's going on in their world and what they may be doing. But just as a administrative reminder, we still have those study buddy groups based on region. Make sure that you're in those groups and you're posting and asking your questions and build a community with the people that's around you, that's within close by states to you or even in the same state as you. That is the purpose of having them there. I haven't been able to go into the groups recently because I'm still recovering from my surgery and I went back to work full time. So still very busy, but slowly but surely I'm going to get my schedule under control and I'll start participating more in the Recoupers main group and also in the study buddy group. So I can answer whatever I know. And if what I don't know, I'll just refer you to someone else or let somebody else answer. We're all here just learning together as a community. So no one is an expert on anything. I think that we just need to be mindful of that. We're here to help and support you, but we may not know the answer, and that's okay too. So, and everybody's going to have a difference of opinion as well. So let's be respectful. Let's honor that. And then we just kind of keep going from there and build it as a family. So that's what we're here for. So welcome to the Saturday Live. Get ready to unmute your mic. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, things that you want to say, this is the time to do it. We're only on here for 2 hours. We're only here. It's 1:05 right now. We're going to end exactly at 3:00. So we're only on here for 2 hours. So don't be shy. Ask your questions or make your comments or make your statements. I think Melanin Bless Phoenix, I think you had your hand up. Let me see.
Is that better?
Oh, way better. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I had my ear thing on, the Bluetooth or whatever you call that, my earbuds in. So I took those out, and this is way better. So,
Yep.
okay. So really, I just wanted to let you know I was here, and I'm only going to be able to stay for about 30 minutes. I got an standing appointment here in 45 minutes, and I need to prepare for that. So if I could be of assistance and help answer any questions, I'll gladly do that while I'm here.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Oh, and by the way, we are having a seminar tonight on that CP575 Use for Payments coupon. A lot of people have received it or are trying to get it, and they still don't know how to use it. What's the proper protocol? How do you put it into motion? How do you use it to satisfy, debt obligations and what goes with it? That's what the seminar, it's a workshop. It's what it's all about. And it's not to give you templates. I don't do templates. I don't like templates because to me that dulls the brain. Okay. I prefer to teach you how to fish, not give you a fish. In other words. So I want to give people tools, by helping them to know this is what goes into it. This is why you're able to do it. This is what gives you the authority to do it. And these are the mechanics. Your foundation is what's important. So then you can stand on it when the storm comes. That's what's important. Okay.
Okay. Well,
And
let's see
that
if people
applies
have
across the
questions
board.
about it,
There you go.
about CP575 on the call today, and then while you're here. So that would be very helpful. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so much. Mick Martin, it looks like you wanted to speak. MC Martin?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good about yourself?
Good. What's going on?
About the 1040 ES.
Your mic is kind of covered a little bit. Can you speak up?
Hold on 1 second. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. I got a question about the 1040 ES and Vs. Sent my and did the whole verify myself and all that whatnot. So I'm at the point where I did the 9 weeks wait and all that. Contacted the IRS and they're saying that now they need proof of payment along with a VS and with the V's. So basically, they told me that I need either a check or a money order to send along with my 1040V. But in the layout, it doesn't say to do that. So I'm trying to see what steps would need to be taken in that with that situation.
That payment is the 670 voucher.
So,
Once you accept your EIN, that should come in. Accept the CP 575 and send it back. The instructions are on the paperwork.
so I need to do another form, you saying?
No, you need to accept the CP 575 and send it back.
Yeah, I accepted that as far. You talking about the verification of myself?
Nope. I'm just saying, accepting the CP 575 after you apply and get it online, or if you send in the SS4.
Yes.
Well, let's confirm,
Accepting
Jeremy.
that,
Is this for his
filling it out.
social or for a business? Is this for your social or your business, MC Martin?
For the social.
So there would be no CP
So
575.
when they sent you the
Go ahead,
right,
Nathaniel.
they sent you a letter informing you that they have not received payment.
Well, I called them because it
Right,
took a while.
we do not see your payment for such and such a date.
Yeah, I called them. So since I wasn't saying anything, I was past the 9 weeks, so I called them. And so I'm showing the credit on there, showing everything, I'm showing the 250. So since seeing all that, I called the IRS, spoke with them, and they said, okay, we see the ES, we see the V's that you're sending, but I'm not seeing the payment that goes along with it. So they said I need to see either a check or a money order that was supposed to be attached to the V's.
Yeah, the 670 is your money order. You can turn that into a money order and send it back, and that's your payment. Letter 96C.
Letter 96.
I got mine after I sent in the CP 575 and accepted it. I wrote accepted, put my number and the information, and I put my name and my social with no dashes and sent it back.
But that was for an EIN number, Jeremy, not his social security number. So that's where he's.
Oh, he don't have an EIN.
No. This is regarding his social security number.
Yeah.
So 1040 is what he's
He
referring.
sent in the ES, from the ES and the V. He sent those in from as the social security person.
Yes.
And they're saying they didn't receive payment, which is kind of true. They like to see some sort of payment, either a 670 used for payments coupon, which is what they sometimes send. Did you, after you sent in your ES and V, did you receive a notice from them?
Yes, I received a notice for me to verify myself as far as go online, verify my social name, did that, and after that, that's all they needed. Haven't got anything after that.
And in those letters that they sent you, any letters they have sent you regarding that, did you see anything that had like a 670 voucher on like the last page of that letter that they would have sent you?
No, ma'am.
Do you know what a 670 voucher is that we're speaking of? Let's ask that question first.
I haven't even seen that.
Yeah, but do you know what we're talking about?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So when the IRS sends you a letter, some type of correspondence, sometimes they send you a 670 letter, even with your social security number. Like when they were dealing with my 1040 and had questions and things like that, they would send me a letter saying they needed more information, blah, blah, blah. And then usually on the last page of that letter that they send, there's a coupon at the bottom, and it says send for payments. And the barcode at the bottom, you'll see something that says you'll see the 670 number. So that's why I was asking if you ever received a letter regarding your social security number that had a 670 voucher attached to it.
No, ma'am, I didn't. And are you speaking about the long number that you needed to type in to verify yourself?
So what I would recommend is that when you go into if you ever gone into the RECOUPERS group, into the main group, and look at what a 670 voucher looks like, because you may have it and not even know that you have it. It looks like a coupon.
Yeah, I haven't received anything besides what they was saying to just verify myself.
Okay, so when you look at those letters and you look at the last page, there isn't anything that looks like a coupon at the bottom. You know, like when you get your T-Mobile bill or whatever bill you get
Yeah.
that coupon at the bottom. It looks
Yes,
similar
ma'am.
to that, is what I'm saying.
No, ma'am, I haven't got that at all.
Okay. How would he get a 670 voucher for his Social Security number? The reason why I got mine is because I filed my taxes, and so that's why I'm trying to figure out how you would actually
May,
activate that.
may I assist right here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for the SS in person, the best thing you can do is to have a trust. If you have a trust EIN and you set it up, you do an 8832. So you convey the SS in person under the trust. Okay. Then you send in your 2848. You can send in what else? Your 2848, a form 56. Authorizing your trust, all right, to handle the affairs of the SSN. Okay. And when you send that 2848 in a representative capacity from the trust as the signer, being the trustee over that SSN person, all right, that will help generate you. And you just ask for it. It'll generate, but you got to have that foundation first. You got to have that foundation information first. So that's how you can get it that's one way you can get it for your SSN blue card person, as people refer to it today. Okay. But once you get that, the payment coupon, it doesn't matter if it's an individual, doesn't matter if it's an EIN, it's still a payment coupon. I have one for my brother's SSN card person, my son's, myself. It's still the same. It's still the use for payment coupon. Okay. Doesn't have to be an entity, just FYI. Okay.
So can you use a payment coupon for any entity to do on your Social Security number?
Okay, ask that question again, please.
Can you use a payment coupon, a 670, for any entity called ABC Company, for any entity to send in on behalf of the social for that social based on what he's saying his situation is?
Of course.
Okay.
That's what it's there for. See,
Okay.
this is what people don't realize is that your SSN number is a state agency. What do I mean by a state agency? It's a state-created agency, no different than the Department of Motor Vehicles. That's a state agency. What department or what branch of government is it under? The executive branch. Okay? It's not law enforcement. It's the executive branch. All right? It's not the legislative. It's not the judicial. It's the executive branch of government. Okay? And remember, at the state level, it mimics and imitates the same thing on the federal level, or vice versa. The federal imitates the state because the state is first, not the federal. Okay? So understanding what it is helps you to be able to use it properly. The problem that we really have is we don't understand what it is. It's not the straw man per se. We refer to it as that, blah, blah, blah. But it's an entity for you to interface with. It's a vessel. A vessel is something that holds something of value. What does it hold of value for you? It holds all your securities. It holds all your bonds. It is your bank. It is your treasury. It's your agency to interface in the matrix with. It's a vessel. It ain't you. Stop thinking and don't ever call it you. Don't say my or that's me, rather. Don't say that's me. And if they ever pull you over, and when the police are pulling you over and they say, "Is this you?" "Oh, is this you? Is this you?" What are they doing? They're getting you to admit you dead. Stop falling for the okie doke. It gives them jurisdiction because they only got jurisdiction over fictions. That ain't you on that driver's license. It ain't you. So it's the same thing. You are the head of that agency. You are not the agency. Is Bill Gates Microsoft? No. Bill Gates is the man that runs Microsoft, that helped created it. Is Steve Jobs, if he were alive, is he Apple? No, he's the man that was the intellect behind that behemoth company. It's the same with your state agency. Okay? If your state agency is Dr. Heather, if that was on your birth certificate, I'm going to use you, Dr. Heather, since you're the host. If that's your state agency name, are you the state agency? No, you're the energy behind it. You're what makes it work. You're the battery that charges that agency, gives it value. You're the energy that makes it go. But you are not it. You're separate from it. You plug into it and you use it when you want to use it. And when you don't, you leave it go and it don't do anything except hold what you've already done. You've had however many years you're alive. If you're 40, 50, 60 years old, you've had that long to build value up by all the transactions you've done. And it houses all of those like a vault, 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 bank vault is what that thing is. Okay. Am I making sense right there? Everybody follow that? Okay. Do you see why I'm sharing that though? Because it's more than what we think it is. It's way more. And you're treating it like it's just a little peanut. You know, most of us do that because we don't understand the thing is a gigantic mountain. It's a treasure. And that's why everybody wants you the SSN number. You're giving it away all over the place and giving people open access to your treasury vault. And you don't have to do that. And you don't know how to go in and use it your own dang self to help you with your own dang problems.
And by not understanding, knowing how to use it, we limit its capability.
Bingo. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're doing ourselves a disservice. You know, the expression from Hosea, my people perish for a lack of knowledge, has so much depth to it because we are hurting all over. We got pains, we got broke legs, broke arms, you know, we got diseased limbs inside and out. And all of that could be easily taken care of. You know, I'm saying these is all financial problems, okay? Not literal problems. But financially, we're hurting ourselves all over, and you got the key right in your hands. And you give it away to everybody else, and you don't use it for yourself because of lack of knowledge.
Can you repeat that part about the trust, about how you said in the beginning for him, so he can reiterate that about putting the SSN into the trust? Can you repeat that, please?
Okay, so you're going to create a foreign trust. It cannot be a revocable living trust. You can't move your straw man to a revocable living trust, contrary to what people say, because a revocable living trust is still in the system. It's still part of their system. They can exercise jurisdiction and control over it. That's number one. So it has to be foreign to where it is now in order for you to move it out. Look at it this way. I'm breaking it down further for you, for the audience. Your vessel right now is outside of the mainland of the United States. It's in international water, what they call maritime admiralty jurisdiction. Okay. And it's facilitated through DC. So you have an office in DC, but your ship is not on the land. Your vessel is in international waters because that's where they exercise control over it, because it's presumed you're dead and there's no one operating the vessel. That's why they give you the first one. It says nobody when you get a new EIN, because there's nobody captain in that vessel. They know you are the captain of the vessel that you're using right now, but you don't know that. You don't know that because you don't exercise your authority as the captain. That's how they know you don't know. All right. Now, let's get back to the trust part. In order for you to get on the land, you have to have a foreign grantor trust. It's not foreign to you. It's foreign to the corporation called the United States. How do you become foreign to the corporation called the United States? They're operating in maritime. Where did I say maritime was? Anybody recall? Where is maritime?
International waters.
Thank you. And that's 15 miles off the mainland, or 20 miles. I don't remember what the distinction is, literally. But that's figuratively what we're talking about. So you need to park your vessel on the land. Where you get ultimate authority is on the land, not in maritime. So when you park your vessel there, you got to have an interface. That interface is a foreign grantor trust. Okay, on the land. What makes it on the land? Because it ain't statutory. It's done and created by contract law. Contract makes the law, and that's your common law right to contract, which is guaranteed by the Constitution. Okay? That's how you unravel your vessel from the maritime where it's at, okay, in maritime jurisdiction. That's how you do that. So once you convey your SSN person to that foreign grantor trust, and you can reorganize, just like you have reorganizations in corporate America, when one company buys another and absorbs it and all that other stuff. Well, in the IRS world, that's facilitated through an 8832 form, where you reorganize your organization. And the only thing you need to do there to simplify it is your foreign grantor trust, and then you reconvey the SSN person under that umbrella. So now it is the corporate structure for your vessel is you have your foreign grantor trust at the top, and under its umbrella, which does what? It protects it and protects it from the rain and everything else and the beaming sun and all of that stuff, okay? Underneath it, you have that one entity for you, my brother. You got one entity under that trust, and that's your SSN person. But it's huge. It's a big vessel. It's like an aircraft carrier. It's huge, all right? And you can have a fleet of vehicles on the land, vessels on the land, entities on the land, underneath that umbrella. Okay? Are you seeing the picture that I'm painting?
I'm seeing it.
Okay, good. Now, what's your question there? Now that you see the picture that I just created.
So with that, a foreign grantor trust needs to be created. On top of that, a person needs to use the form 8, the 8 something, was it? It was an 88 something.
8832 is the form, IRS form
8832
to restructure. Okay.
Okay,
You need to
8832.
read the instructions. I'm not going to give it to you right here. You got to read the instructions. They have. Hold on. I got to share something with you here. It's important.
Go ahead.
Under that 8832 form, it references Treasury Revenue Procedure this and Treasury Revenue Procedure that. And then it says something about a relief sought under a late filing. You only have 5 years from the time an entity is created to reorganize it, to revamp it, to restructure it. Okay? After that, you got to have a damn good reason to do the reorganization. All right? Well, your vessel is been out in commerce for as long as you've been alive, because it was created 2 weeks after you were born, up to 2 weeks. Therefore, you must read and study when it says late relief sought under late Treasury Revenue Procedure, whatever is on that form. Okay, you'll see it. You need to read that, and then you got to come up with the verbiage, okay, as to justify why you're doing this so late. Why are you just doing this 30 years later? What justifies you doing this 30 years later? Okay, that's a whole class by itself. All right, I'm gonna just tell you honestly. All right, now I came up with a simple way to handle that, but that's for another discussion because I don't want to go into all of that here. All right, so but that'll help you to regroup, reorganize, and your interest right now is to get that CP 575 used for payment coupon. Heck, just call them up and ask them. I'm hearing folks saying that they've been able to just call and ask for it. So call and ask for it and see what happens. The worst they can tell you is no, we can't do that. That's the worst they can tell you. Ain't nobody gonna come looking. Ain't nobody knocking on your door. Ain't nobody gonna, shoot you with darts or anything else. Nothing bad's gonna happen to you by just asking that question. So call them and ask for them Monday morning, okay?
Pretty much call and ask for that 670.
Yeah, you want to use for payment coupon so that you can take care of some tax liability. That's your coded language.
Used for
Okay,
payment
because when
coupon.
they told you, when you got that form that said we don't see no payment, the brother was absolutely right. That's what they're looking for. You were supposed to send them either a bill of exchange that you created, a check that you created, and it don't have to be off in an account. All they're really looking for is your authorization. Okay, but these treasury coupons we're talking about are valuable because it's a draft from your treasury. Y'all get it? The vault I was telling you about, it doesn't just hold your securities, it has your treasury in it. It's got your credits in it, and you're exchanging your credit to settle a liability. That's why it says use for payments, and it doesn't say use only for tax payments. It don't say that, folks. It don't say that, because that's not what it is. It's your ability to settle matters, because they got to give you a way out, but they don't got to tell you this is your way out of this, or this is your way out of that. They don't got to tell you that. And I'm using bad English on purpose. They don't got to do that. Okay. But they do have to give it to you. But if they don't tell you what it is, guess what happens? Most people never use it. And you get to stay in perpetual debt, which is part of the plan. All right. I yield right there.
Melanie, I know you got to go, and thank you for the information.
You're very welcome.
Everybody, the call is recorded, so you can go back and listen to what he said if you weren't able to take notes fast enough. Just know that the calls are always going to be recorded every time we have these calls bi-weekly. So you can go back and listen to them. And I will post it in the group shortly after we end the call at 3 o'clock. So you'll probably get it by like 3:30, something like that. Because I usually get the recording pretty fast from Telegram.
All right.
But thank you for that. Thank you,
You're very welcome.
MC
Everyone
Martin.
have a great Saturday and a great weekend. Peace, love, and light to all of you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. We know you got to go. Let's see. We had other people that had questions. Nathaniel, why are you raising your hand? This doesn't. What happened, Nathaniel?
Yeah, I lost service in it when I came back in
Oh,
it.
I'm like, what's happening? Why are you raising your hand? You part of leadership. Okay, go ahead. Did you want to add anything else?
So the 670 is it's an internal. It's what the IRS uses internally for transferring credits. That's why it has your account number at the bottom of it, similar, to the routing of a check or but that special one that has the 670 code on the bottom is for us to transfer credits internally and direct them where we need them to go.
That's good information that you and Melanin Blessed had gave. So thank you for that. Thank you for reiterating that. All right, who's next? Dave, did you have a question? Wait a minute. If you have a question, just unmute yourself or a comment. If
I
you
got
can't,
something. If you need
go
to
ahead.
know how to fill out the 670, Nyla shared a phone call with the IRS agent, and he explains exactly how to fill out your 670. I posted it in my group inside RECOUPERS, the 903 post.
So there's a folder called the 903 inside of the main group of Recoupers. So that's what he's referring to. That if you had any questions, you can go there. There should be a video posted there that can give you more information.
What was that? What was that folder again?
The 903. The THE 903.
I have another question if nobody has anything.
Go ahead, MC Martin. Go ahead.
Is there also? I was looking at the chat and looking at the videos. Is there also a way, if you have a business, to write off credit card debt? business credit card debt?
That's a good question. I would like to know that too myself. Let me think. I think you
Let me
probably do
ask
this.
you. Let me
Go
ask a
ahead.
question.
Go
Are
ahead,
you
Nyla.
trying to write off your credit card debt on your 1040 or your 1041 filing?
You said it one more time. You was in and out.
How are you trying to write off your credit card debt? Are you trying to negotiate it out on your filing, your IRS filing?
Oh, I haven't done that at all. I was trying to see what would be the process of doing it. I don't know how to do it at all.
Of the process of actually paying the bill?
The process of either the IRS paying it off or writing out their complete debt off, or just getting away with it without coming out of pocket for it.
Right. So you're looking for a discharge of it by filing a 1099A and B process?
Yes, ma'am. I think I did hear something like that of that nature. I heard like a whisper of that.
Yeah, we have a whole chat room for that.
Okay. What's the name of that chat room? I can jump in that chat room and just try to find a video for it.
That'd mostly be the claim your credits.
Claim your credits guide. Yep. And that's part of the end process of it, not the beginning. So there's a lot to go through first.
Okay. Is that portion to where a trust needs to be created for it, or is it something that you can just fill out during your regular tax returns, like adding a 1099?
The trust is helpful for redeeming the credits from the process, but the process can be commenced without creating the trust first.
Okay, just mostly like amending that and then adding like a 1099, I guess, B, and just going through that whole process.
Well, this is going to be with you and the IRS. So you're going to go to Tax 1099 or get your IRS TCC portal set up, and get a hold of your transcripts through irs.gov, going through your id.me. That way you have access, and then you're going to start filing your 1099As after you find the business's EIN numbers, and you're going to start doing the process from there. So there's a lot of stuff in there that you've got to weed through before you get to that point.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
But in the claim your credits folder, there isn't a video. There isn't a specific video. There's a guide that's in there, and it has like guide 1, 2, and 3. But the third one is the most updated one. So you can start looking at the third guide.
Okay.
And that'll give you the most up to date information from Kia, who created the process.
My question is, how do you use your 670 voucher to fund your trust account?
So when you endorse it and send it in, you're trying to see how, let's say you had a 670 voucher for your trust and you send it in, you want to know how do you fund it?
Yes.
Jeremy, you want to add more context to that?
I think she's trying to use it as a bond and putting it in there as a bond.
Convey any value to the trust. Anything of value, convey it to the trust. Put money in the account, put property in it. You could put anything of value in there.
But the main question was like, how do I use the 670 voucher itself to fund the trust, to put money into the trust?
Well, you would just do a 670 for the payment, and when it would come in, you just go put that in the trust. Your 670 gets you a check. Take that check that comes in and put it in the trust. It'll come in under the social.
It won't come in under the trust name, even though you did a 670 for the trust?
Well, I mean, if you're like mine, I just did mine for the ESs and Vs for the Social Security number. I didn't do it for the trust. I was just going to fund it whenever those checks come in. I was just going to convey them over to the trust because I need to get bank accounts set up, and then I've got to set up infrastructure for that. I still got to get my foreign grantors trust. I still got a lot of shit to do, but that's how I was going to fund that trust, that revocable living trust. And that's just a new transmitting utility on the inside, right? Just like Phoenix said earlier.
That would be after you did your 1040 filing?
Yeah. I did a 1041 filing, but I haven't heard anything from it, and there's no information on it, so I don't know. But I'll have to do another 4605T, I think it is, or 4506T, to pull the information to see where I need to move next. But that's all I was going to do. I was just going to get that check in because there's 750K right there. So when that comes in, I'll just put money in it. And then like my property and stuff, I'll go ahead and convey the titles over to it once I get this done. Because I'm limited on funds, and until I get some form of funds in, then I really can't afford to pay for the mailings, pay for the filings, pay for this, pay for that, because it all adds up over time. But it's all for you stuff, like stuff you're paying for yourself, like the mailings, the certified mailings. That it adds up after time.
So is it kind of like, you could use the 670 voucher, like how you send in a bill payment with it?
Yeah, that's going to cover all your obligations, your debt obligations.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Joseph Lee, you want to unmute yourself? Okay. Anybody else want to raise their hand or want to come off, unmute themselves and ask a question or a comment?
I got something. Hey, Nyla, do you remember how we got the $2 billion attached to our CP 575s, our EINs? What process did we go through?
You talking about returning them for value and then doing 1099As on them?
Yeah, where you get the 2.167 billion posted on there for your property value of the CP 575.
Right. When we went and returned them for value, we went and did it for the 9,999,000, and then the 21 is what they gave us with the withholding, and that's what ended up on the transcript, because we took our EINs from all of our businesses, and then we transferred them over to the Social Security person as a accepted for value process.
No, I think what we did was we filled out an OID on it, on the CP 575.
Yeah, well, we started with making it out like we did the money order, right? We accepted the CP 575, and we sent them in. And then when we got the green card return receipt, that's when we can do a filing of the A's and the B's and the OIDs on it.
Yeah, I was just trying to get what we specifically did to get that 2.1 posted as a property value, because that's funding it as well.
Right. Those are credits on the transcript side, and then we got to get the transcripts.
Yep.
And we can take that to a CPA and assess the values.
Yeah, we filled out what was that process though? Was it an A? Was it an A and an OID, or did we do an A and a
1099A?
That's it?
Yeah, just the A.
Okay, yeah, and that'll get you your interest off of that, correct? And then that 2.1 is like a glitch number, right?
That's like the 24% of it.
Is that what it comes up to? Yeah.
It's 24% of that 99999, all the nines that are on there.
Yep.
Yeah. It's 24% of that.
It's actually not 24%. It's the algorithms only goes that high. It's 21%, but that's the most that triggers it at the maximum from that 9 billion.
There you go. Well, Joseph, we're glad you unmuted. You had a question too?
No, I'm in a place. It's too loud out here. I'm good. I'm listening. Thank you guys. I'm so grateful for all of you for being here again. So thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you for being here as well. Nathaniel, were you going to say something, honey? Denise Black, you can unmute.
Oh, hi.
Khadija, after Denise, you can go after that. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we were talking about that, when we send in our vouchers for the ESs, $250,000, and then we sign the voucher on the back. So is there, Well, what is our backup if they say, okay, we need proof that you sent it in besides a copy and the certified return receipt of all that, stating that, you signed a voucher for it? Does anybody have any coaching on that?
Well, if you already sent in your 670 and they're still coming back asking, you just send it back in again.
What you're calling the 670 the voucher, the V voucher?
No,
Go ahead,
those are
Nyla.
two different things. A 1099B voucher is separate from the 670 voucher.
Right. So what I'm saying is when they say we need proof of your payment, so just resending them a certified copy of the voucher.
No, I don't. It's certified. You just fill it out and send it in.
Yeah, just send them a copy of it.
Yeah, you just fill it out because that's all you can do. You can't send them the original because you won't have no more. So you got to make a copy of the original, fill out the copy, and then send the copy in. And there's a video, RECOUPERS down there in my little group or whatever, that the IRS agent tells you step by step how to fill out the 670. So if you've done the ESs and Vs and you ended up getting the 670 in, if not, you need to call and ask for it. But if you did get one in, the video is in RECOUPERS down there in the 903 post.
Okay, so I just need to call and ask. I haven't got the 670, so just call for it and then I'll look at the video. Thank you.
Yep, that's when they send you that letter asking for payment. That's what they're asking for, is that 670. You convert it over to a money order, so you just write money order on it, and then you fill the rest out and send it back to them.
Thank you.
It's step by step on that video. So
yeah, and you want to make sure and you send them copies of everything, your whole packet with the payment. That way, they don't have to ask where this goes to.
Yeah, and if you send them a copy, make sure you make a copy for your records of it filled out and done just before you mail it. So you'll know what you sent out, and then you can send them proof if they ask for it again.
And always make sure you put your green return receipts stating that they had received it when they received it.
Yeah, my 670s were mailed off regular, but that was an accident.
Oh. Yeah,
just sent off regular mail, but they need to be sent off certified return receipts so you'll know they got it, and that's your proof they got it.
Okay, and the other question was, once you send in your acceptance of the 5C75, how long do you wait if you don't get the coupons back from them? How long do you wait?
I would just give it a couple weeks and then give them a phone call.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it takes a little while for you to get your green card back. So they could have received it already. You're just waiting for the green card to come back in the mail.
You can always go to UPS.com and look up your green card and mail tracking, and it should show you when it gets there.
Well, I have one more question if no one's going to ask. When they send you a letter that says they've corrected because they didn't credit the 250, so they've corrected your 1040 form, and they're asking for a payment. I thought there was something that we could do with that letter that's requesting a payment, but I don't remember what it is.
It's either a CP25 or a CP24. But it's pretty much the same thing. They're saying they didn't get your payment method, so they're zeroing out the balance because they never received the payment.
Okay, and now they're saying you owe taxes because they didn't credit 250. So now when you get that request for the money that they're saying that you owe, what would the response to that letter be?
Your response to that letter would be take the same 670 and fill it out for whatever taxes they're asking for. Just pay that in the same way you're doing the rest of this. It's still a payment voucher. You send it in for payments.
Yep, use for payment voucher, like Phoenix said earlier.
Okay, thank you.
You should also reply to that CP25 letter and provide copies, affidavits, and everything, certified mail, backtracking of everything of that payments that you sent in, so that can be challenged. Because I think that they're doing this to a lot. Whether they got them, whether they lost them, whether they're holding them somewhere, there's something going on there. So,
Well, I was going to, because I finally got some credits on my account. I was going to just do an amended on the one that they changed, an amended 1040X to. Is that a strategy?
I think you can do an amended, but the amendeds do take longer. They get, there's a system they have where they 24 year, 23, 22, 21, and then those are the regular taxes, and then they'll go back to the amendments, and they take longer month wise. So just be
8 to
cautious and be
16.
aware of it.
Yeah, 8 to 16 weeks. That's the time frame for an amended. That's what I did, and I'm waiting on it. So because my taxes got messed up on my first filing, so I had to correct it and amend it and send it off. So I went from getting paid on March 12th to now I don't know when. So
Right, but
Yes,
if I do an amended,
every time you do a communication with them, they're going to take longer for processing.
okay, thank you.
yeah, so if y'all are doing your taxes, make sure you're doing them right, because people in this movement, we're all learning, and people make mistakes, and it's not on purpose, but in the process of learning, we like to learn easy, not the hard way. So some of us learned the hard way because we got too far into it and too fast, and we really didn't know what we were doing, and not enough questions were asked. So always do your due diligence. Don't be fearful. Don't be scared of it. Just do your due diligence, and the information will come.
Yeah, I wanted to say one other thing is I've been doing a lot of work with the chat GPTs, for information on filing, that sort of thing. And you really have to be careful to go and check. They'll give you one answer, and then if you go into a different one, you'll get a different answer. So if people are using the GPT to get tax questions, just, make sure you're confirming with other sources.
One of the ways to assist that is to give your ChatGPT keywords when you're doing some digging in, and you want the keywords noted. That way you can always go back to them. And yes, challenge it constantly, and constantly question it just in case. Be thorough.
Yeah, get off the free version. Pay the $20 for ChatGPT.
It's worth it. I
Absolutely.
paid the $19.99, and it's worth it. You get way more information.
And if you can't, though, I posted a GPT that I published that should, at least if you have tax questions, I recommend just going straight to that GPT and asking it, because that's what I made it for.
Can you post a link, Nathaniel? Post a link in the chat today, so
yeah,
people can
I put
find
it in there.
Today's chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, I just posted it in there, in RECOUPERS live session chat.
Perfect. I know Khadija had a question or a comment.
Yeah, I had a question, and a comment actually. Heard you guys talking about the 1040 X's earlier. What I've been reading and researching, I actually did 2 amendments last year, and I have yet to hear back. I'm on like week 28. So that 16-week window that they're given is not correct. I've also seen people waited about a year and a check just showed up. 8 to 10 months and then a check just showed up. They're really, really slow about 1040 X's. So I agree with him when he said, make sure your taxes are correct. Fine tooth comb, ask in the chats, because if you got to make a correction, they are not going to be swift about it. Trust me, I did it in October of last year and I have yet to hear back. I called a couple times. I got when you log in on the where's my amended return, the please call message that popped up. I called, they said there was nothing wrong. They're still processing it. So that's just my input from my own experience for that. Also, thank you to the group, because I didn't realize I had a 670 in front of me for my trust. I was in the group and I kept reading about the 670, but never knew what it was. And I was like, wait a minute. I looked at my papers. I'm like, I got one here from one of my trusts. So what you're saying is I can endorse this. And I got the video saved of how to endorse it. So when I endorse it, the way it should be endorsed and send it in, do I just wait and call in and request that 4506T form and see if those credits are there and pull down from them, or how does that work?
Do you have your IRS portal where you can log into?
Yeah, but it's not for my Social Security person. It's for one of my trusts that I have.
Oh, okay, then yeah, you're gonna have to do a 4506T.
Right. Okay. So I just send it in and just wait a few weeks and then just request that 4506T just to see if those credits are there.
Those 4506Ts also have a fax number, and it's a lot easier to use the fax number than it is the snail mail.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so I'll do that then.
And then
Once those credits,
her question is, how long does it take? How long should she wait before she requests her transcript on the trust? Do you know how long it takes to post it?
It takes a while for them to get back with those 4506Ts. I don't know if you can call and make that go faster or it makes it go slower.
Okay. So my question is, like, once I send it in, let's say if I send it in on Monday with the certified and the green card receipt, return receipt, making sure that they got it, I should wait a few weeks, then request the 4506T. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, those credits are there mysteriously. They actually did what they're supposed to do for a change, and they're there. What will be my next step to get those credits? Would I just file a 1041, or how does that work once those credits are sitting there? Because I think it's a certain amount of time. Right.
Yeah, credits take, if you do them by snail mail, credits will take at least, I don't know, 4 weeks to show up on a transcript, and that's conservative. If you do it online, it takes 2 weeks for it to show up on a transcript.
And when she says do it online, are you talking about Iris? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, or tax 1099, like I was saying earlier. You can do it on there and it get approved for your credits. But you have to get the credits approved before it'll ever show up on your transcript if she wanted to go get her transcript and have that show up on it.
Right. Okay. And because I'm doing like a couple of different things. I actually did. This is my situation. Maybe you guys can help out. This is what I've already done. I had a trust and a trust account at Wells Fargo Bank back in 2022. I went in, presented a bond, on bond paper, a promissory note, as well as a security agreement and some other POAs and different things of that nature. In supposed to be in exchange for credits. Wells Fargo did not hold their end. They never credited my account and they never gave that paperwork back. I have the proof of delivery. I have the proof of emailing. And I also was proactive and I sent the same copies to the FDIC. It was a different process that I just had gotten my feet wet and all of this stuff. So I did an FDIC process, but they got the same paperwork as well. They actually wrote me back and confirmed that they have it and stated that Wells Fargo is supposed to keep those records that I sent in on file. Wells Fargo mysteriously says that they don't have such records. I actually did a complaint to the old Office of Comptroller of Currency as well. I opened an investigation with them. Wells Fargo actually lied to them and said it was resolved. They resolved it with me, but they didn't. They never gave me the credits. And it was for a certain amount of money, a certain amount of dollars. I wouldn't say money because money is not real. A certain amount of dollars, the promissory note was for. And they kept it, and they kept everything as well as a security agreement and those things of that nature. So what I have done so far is I've done an A on Wells Fargo Bank for the amount said of the promissory note. And I also did a B, one of the B's so far. I haven't done the other B with them at the top, with me at the top and them at the bottom. I haven't done that part yet. But I just wanted some advice on that. What you guys think that's something that they would try to fight me on, or would they, or how would, I know the IRS is going to go in, they're going to do an audit and all that good stuff. So does that sound like?
one of the fastest ways you're going to be able to recoup that is to find the CUSIP number of where it's being publicly traded, right? We have a few people that are in the group that kind of charge for CUSIP numbers, but if you can get a hold of the CUSIP number where it's being traded, then you already have access to the funds that was created in your name, because your name is the one who created those funds, and your name's all over it. So once you get that, then we can actually have that as your asset, and you can write your credits against it. We call them credits. We don't call them money either. So.
Right. Okay. So what I've done so far with that, I don't know, like what I've done so far is one of the I've done the A with me at the top, them at the bottom, and then I've done one of the B's with them at the top and me at the bottom for a set amount of the promissory note. Like I said, what they said to me 3 years ago was, I don't know what you're talking about, type thing. We never received anything, but I have all proof that you guys got it, and I never got it back. You didn't give me a letter or anything stating that you weren't able to accept this. You accepted it, and now I have no idea what you're doing with it, what they've done with that promissory note, what they've done with that security agreement, along with the other documentation that I actually hand delivered to them, and I had a witness affidavit that I actually took it into them.
Right, which gives you chain of custody. And that chain of custody is important when it comes to actually finding in the physical services department where that actual bond is being held. But as far as your 1099 A and B process goes, if you do your second B, then that will be the thing that'll actually show up on your transcript.
Okay. And then
When they say to you they don't have it, have you ever sent them copies of what you sent in?
I have so many back and forths with them, copies. And what they did was, when I initially opened the account, they had me change over to so many different people, because one of the bankers that I was talking to, she ended up having an emergency, so they put me over to someone else. And then that person ended up quitting. And then the last young lady that I dealt with, I don't know what her problem was. I don't think that she liked her job. She actually ended up quitting because I actually called to find out to specifically speak to her, and she no longer works there. So everybody that I've dealt with, even though I do have the chain of emails from me to them, back and forth, appointment confirmations, her saying that she got the paperwork that I gave her. I have all of this stuff via email, and also the paperwork that I sent to the FDIC as proof that I gave it to them, and they actually confirmed that they got it, and that Wells Fargo was supposed to keep that on file for me. Now they're saying they don't have it.
Yeah, file that second B.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can actually do a 1099 INT on a withholding from that bond from 24% of the full amount, and you can draw that down and file it on your tax return.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear, because that's what I was kind of wanting, the direction I was thinking to go, but I wasn't sure about the INT. So with what Dr. Heather just said, so I should go ahead and do the other B and along with the INT, so that would be A, 2 Bs, and an INT?
Right, because you're going to charge them for not doing their job, right? We're going to make them being held accountable, but you're still going to be able to draw down from the instrument, because that instrument still exists whether or not they try and claim it doesn't.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
All right. Who's next? Looks like Elio. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi there.
Hey.
My question is, when you have a foreign grantor trust I have mine in Europe. So I don't know if this is true, but someone told me that when you have it in Europe and when you do the CP 575 coupon, when you're going to send them back, you have to have the a euro bill note on it instead of the dollar. Is that true?
Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with that, to be honest. I don't know the answer to that. Anybody else anybody in the community that may be familiar? You can unmute yourself and just answer.
I've done a CP 575 acceptance, you guys, without the dollar bill, and it's hit the transcript. So I don't, I don't know that route. I just know from experience that acceptance on the front and a signature on the back is all I needed for what I went through, and that hit the transcript. So the dollar bill situation I didn't go through. If somebody else has experience with it, wonderful. But I didn't need it for mine.
I know quite a few people that don't use the dollar bill on there too as well. So
Oh,
maybe you don't need
yeah.
a euro.
Yeah. So I mean, if that's the case, you don't even need to have
Yeah,
the dollar bill. So
that would be my
okay.
takeaway based on what he just said. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I would
and another.
credits are credits, and whether or not you draw them down in a certain currency would be something else.
Okay. Another question is. Maybe you were saying this lately, but I didn't get it. But when you turn the CP 575 coupon back, are you gonna get confirmation that they received it?
Normally, your confirmation that they received it is that they shows up as being paid, and then you get that on your transcripts, because you just check your transcripts all the time, and it'll tell you if you still have a code on your account holding things up, or you got the credits, and then it'll show up in your payments transcript, because there's like 4 different transcripts to check.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't got into. I only have my transcript of my individual, but for the EIN, so to get that transcript, you need to create.
You gotta send in the form 4506T as in Tom.
4560.
4506T.
They do have a business side of the IRS if you had created a business out of your trust, or you made it an LLC.
Okay, no, I haven't. Don't have an LLC on the trust.
Then you would definitely have to file the 4506T for getting the transcripts for a trust.
4506T. Okay.
That is.
All right. So that's what you need to do with all the EIN you created to have a transcript, right?
That is how you get your transcript. Yes. And they can be faxed in. They don't have to be mailed.
They can be faxed, you said?
Yes, they have a fax number on the 4506T form in the instructions.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, Brooke, you're next. Brooks Hilton. Unmute yourself, please. Brooks Hilton. Are you there? I know you had a question about the W-2 and 1040 and all that, because you sent me a DM about it, and I instructed you to come to the call and ask your question. So, Brooks Hilton, when you get a chance to unmute yourself, let us know. Anybody else? Raise your hand.
I have a question.
Who's this?
This is Green Pastures.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just one look. When you mail your CP 575 back, and if you have several of those, can they be mailed that in the same envelope? I'm wondering about that. That would be a problem if I did that.
I think you can put it in the same envelope, but
good. Okay.
I think you can.
Okay.
But make sure you have a letter of instruction.
Yes.
That's probably what I would do to make it easier.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I've done that. You can just do a cover letter and identify each of them,
Yep.
spell it out for them. I have done that as well.
There you go.
Yeah,
Sounds
just
simple.
find a way to separate them inside the envelope. So, just put a paper clip on them or don't staple them or nothing. Just a way to conjoin them separate inside the envelope that you put them in.
Thank
Brooks, are
you.
you ready?
Yep, I figured it out. Thank you.
Okay. What's up? Talk
Thank
to
you,
us.
Dr. Heather. So
Mhm.
I'm an hourly employee for a big company, and so I'm just I'm up to date on all my taxes through last year. I haven't filed 2024 yet because I just learned about all the ES and V payments and all that. So I've submitted my ES and Vs for the past 3 years, and now I'm just kind of, I guess, stuck is the wrong word, but I'm trying to figure out how to, moving forward, how to transition from going to file, normally filing that W-2 every year, just based on the paperwork I get from my employer, and just using the wages box. I'm just trying to figure out how to, yeah, after this year's taxes, like how to change that or make it different, or I just pay those taxes every year and then offset it with the ES&Ds. Does that make sense? I don't anticipate quitting my job in the next 2 or 3 years, so as long as I keep doing that, I just need to figure out a way to, that am I making sense at all?
Yeah, well, I think earlier on the call before you joined, somebody had asked something similar, and they were saying
Okay.
about doing taking your wages and putting it on a 1099 INT,
Okay.
and then you can file your taxes doing it that way using the 1099.
Okay.
Um, Let me see. Was that Nyla or was that Nathaniel that talked about the INT? Nyla, was that you, honey, that talked about the INT a little bit?
No, that was Nathaniel. He
Okay.
was saying that you could take the amount of taxes that you paid and with the whole amount that you would be receiving at the end of the year, and you can do that, put that on an INT and get that back.
Oh, just do the INT for the amount of the wages that were the wages, basically.
Right, and it's the wages in the whole, so that is also including what you paid on all of their taxes that they said that you had to pay.
Yep.
All
Okay.
that back to you.
And then include that with like the ES&V payments also, like just clump it all together.
Right, when you do your 1040, you get all the papers that you have filed. Like if you had any beef or anything like that, you can put them all in the same document.
Okay. That's good news. Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, cool. Glad that was helpful. Thank you for asking. Kaif? Ishmael? I hope I'm not chopping. I know I'm probably messing your name up. I apologize.
Yeah, no, you are absolutely correct.
Well, all right. Good.
How's
Okay.
everybody today?
We're good. We're good. How are you?
Okay. I'm doing, listen, I don't have no complaints. If I complain, I'd be ungrateful. That's for sure.
What's going on with you?
Okay, so I found my my ESs on the 1040 side and the 1041 side. I never got no responses on the 1040 side, but I did receive a LTR 167C for my 23 on the 1041 side. The only thing that I am trying to get a clarity on is exactly how to endorse the voucher to send it back.
Which is the 670 voucher?
That would be it. Well, it's the LTR 0167C.
But at the bottom of it, and if you look at the barcode at the bottom, you see 670 there, 670.
Or use for payments at the top of the voucher.
Yes, that's what it says.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah, that video that I had shared that tells you how to write money order on the top. Don't sign the back, only sign the front, and use it as a money order, and that's your form of payment.
So if you go into the folder,
don't sign the 670 when you send it in. Do not sign that.
So in Jeremy's folder in the main group called the 903 folder, THE903. There's a video in there that tells you exactly from an IRS agent what to do, how to endorse it.
Right. Okay, so I was watching that video and I was thinking I had DM'd you to ask you if this. The only thing was I just wanted to be clear because some of it in
I haven't personally watched the video, so I can't.
But so in the video is kind of cut off on the far right side of the picture. So I just didn't want to just kind of
No, he explains with his words. You don't need a picture. You don't need anything other than his words. He tells you step by step how to fill it out.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because at the bottom, because at the bottom on the voucher where those routing numbers are, it says 670 at the bottom. On the coupon part.
Yeah, in the Nicker line.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so just follow those instructions and just send it back. Now, am I sending it back to the address that's on here? Because the address that he had, the agent told him to send it somewhere else.
Well, you're going to be sending it to whoever's making contact with you because they're the ones that need it.
No problem. Thank you. Enjoy the weekend, guys. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for asking your question. Hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah, y'all don't sign your 670s. All right, don't ever sign them. That's you basically making a check for anyone to take. So don't sign it. Just put your name and your social down at the bottom, proper name, with the colon or and then your social with no dashes. That's the closest you're going to get to signing it. But if you put your signature on there, someone else will take that check and cash it for you, and they'll take your funds.
You just write you already got your name on there, so you don't even have to write it. But you do want to put your phone number and the time that you're available.
Okay. All right. So my trust is okay. So my trust only has my name, but when they sent it back, they have mine and my wife's name on the voucher. Is that normal?
Yes. You're married, right?
You guys filed jointly, yeah?
Okay, because they sent me two copies of this 670.
Sometimes they
different envelopes.
Their correspondence.
They usually send you one. They'll send you one for you and then one for your merger, which is your marriage.
So I can
remember
send
you merged
one in
the corporate entities.
So I can send one in, and my wife can send one in, although she never filed or she never sent in no ESs or anything.
Yeah, so basically, if you have a bill that has you and your wife's name on it, that's what that 670 voucher is, with you and her name on it. If you have a bill with just your name on it, that's what that other 670 is for.
Got it. Okay. Well, she lucked up then. She got some extra money. I might have to bribe her a little bit now.
And also make copies of it. Don't ever send in the original that they sent you. So always make copies of those letters when you send it in, and use that to endorse the copy, not the original.
Got it. Okay. Awesome. Man, that's awesome. Thank you.
Of course. That's what we're here for. Who's next? We only have about 40 more minutes left on this call. Carolyn Brantley. You can unmute yourself, Carolyn.
Greetings, everyone. I just have my question is, if you're being garnished, Social Security is taking your money, is it any way I can file a form or something to get all that money back that they've taken?
You say you already paid them?
No, they're garnishing my Social Security.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you just need to pay the bill. Do the money order with CP575s.
Or do would I be able to use the 670?
If you got one, yeah, use that.
Okay.
It says use for payments, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Well, I think you need to make a payment.
Okay. All right, will do. Thank you.
So Nyla, let me ask. So you can use that use for payment and send that to T-Mobile?
You take your T-Mobile bill that you got from T-Mobile, and that bill right there is your bond. You send that bond in, you can do it payable to the Treasury, and then Treasury will take that bond and make your payment for you. Or you could take that bond to the bank and then you can just cash it out. I mean, they're literally giving you a check. A check's in your name. We all need to learn the process where eventually you'll be going and getting your own safety deposit box, having all of these checks sent to it directly to the bank, and have the bank pay you out for them immediately as soon as you get them every month.
But we have to find a bank that's willing to do that, right?
Yes. Yes, not all banks are doing that right now. Mostly it's just credit unions and certain banks. But what we have been doing is we've been taking them, endorsing them, sending them off to the Treasury or physical services to pay, have them pay us for it and draw it down. That's a little bit different than your claim your credits guide that we have on here. But we did all try those 1522s and they didn't work the way they were supposed to work because we didn't correct our statuses first.
Okay.
But it'd be a lot easier for us to just take those bills, go straight to the bank, and do the 80-20 split with the bank and draw those down. Because those are literally checks that we get paid. And once it gets cashed, then it's already prepaid because all accounts are prepaid.
Right. I just didn't know. I wasn't clear of how to do that. I'll probably reach out to you this week about it, just so I can just get further understanding. Okay. All right. That's helpful. Thank you.
Okay, I got a comment on that because from my understanding, you would have to set up your trust with that credit union, and there are some forms that you have to have on file as well in order to get those bills paid through the bank. That's my understanding.
Well, they have a special window for it. So it's not like you can just do it at any teller. You have to have the exchange for payments because those are considered to be bonds. And they do exchange them. You don't have to do them through your trust, but one of the best ways for them to not try and come after your blue card person for those bills are actually put all of your bills in the trust's name because they can't lien the trust. And they know as soon as they write out a check to the trust account, you already know what to do with it. You're going to then go and you can put those into the bank all day long. I believe that's called the special deposit window because these are considered special deposits. So once you make your special deposits, and then the bank will actually pay out for those dividends because that's basically what it is because you're the utility.
And that's does the account have to be a non-interest bearing account?
You don't even have to have that account with the bank in order for them to just cash the bill. But having an account with them and having them sent directly to them will automate the system. We are working on that process.
Okay.
But as far as we got right now, the only thing we have is to send it to the Treasury and try and get the Treasury to draw down the funds for us until we can find banks that are willing to play ball.
Yeah. And so far, has the Treasury paid anybody's bill yet?
I know some people that said that it has worked where they ended up getting credits on their accounts. But as far as that's the only confirmation you're going to get is you're going to see a credit on your account and then they're not going to press the bill. They're going to pretend like it never happened.
Right, which is what I prefer, like with my light bill and T-Mobile, things like that.
So you were saying you would have to endorse your bill and send it to the Treasury?
Right, but this process takes approximately 3 months. I think Phoenix was the one who talked about that on our last call about how you would sign it over to them, and then you have to keep signing it over to them every single month until it catches up because that's like a 3-month wait for all of that.
He said he talked about that about a month ago on one of these live calls. Yeah.
Do you know what you endorse on your bill?
Yeah, you're going to pay it to the order of the U.S. Treasury. and then you're going to go ahead and sign it because it's a blank endorsement basically but you're going to do it directly to the Treasury, so only the Treasury can draw it down in, and it's supposed to be for your benefit. So you write down pay to the order of the Treasury for the benefit of, and then you put your Social Security person. If you guys want, you can go and re-listen to we got all those recordings from that video.
And where is this?
We post all of our live recordings inside of the folder that just says Recouper's live recording, but it's not labeled. So I can't tell you the exact date that was, but I probably was about a month ago.
Okay.
Around that.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, who's next? Who has any questions or comments? Still doing Q&A.
Dr. Heather, I got one more thing. When I send this voucher back, should I be sending an 8888 for a direct deposit with it to my trust account?
You definitely can.
Yes, you can.
If it's your Social Security person, you can put an 8888 directly on the IRS website, .gov, and then they'll always know where to deposit your stuff. But if it's for a trust account, you definitely are going to have to send an 8888 with every conversation that you have with them, letting them know what accounts to put what in, and make sure and write, if you're going to put all the amount in one account, at the bottom of it, make sure that you repeat the fact that you're going to put all of it in one account on the 8888 form.
Okay.
And also, this is why the letter of intent is so important too, because you can explain that in your letter of intent. Your what is your intention? Your intention when you're sending in this packet, and then you can just give instructions.
Right. Now I never received the same letter. I never received the same letter or the same voucher for my 1040 person, but I got it for the trust. Is there explanation to that, or should I just be calling them to ask them, what's holding? Because it was filed last year. I sent it in last year for 21, 22, and 23.
Yeah, we'll call up there about because it's not on your transcript, so on your social, so you need to call and find out what's going on with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can call them up and ask them for voucher for that year, because if you look at them, every single year that voucher comes with a tax year on it. And if you want to use it for a different tax year, you would have to change the year on it.
I was going to ask you if those vouchers expire. Like if you had an old one from like 2010, can you still use it?
Yeah, you can just mark out that year and put the new year in it. Since they didn't send you a new one, that's all you got.
Okay. Wonderful.
Now I haven't filed my 1041 424. Do I still have to add like a 1041 to go along with this as well?
The 1041 and every 1040 and all that stuff is for drawdown. If you do want to make a drawdown, you're going to have to file, unless you do drawdown via a third-party fiduciary that you go pay somebody to do it for you.
And then I will package all of this together along with the voucher and mail it.
Yeah, some people have gone to the point where they got so frustrated, had to go to a CPA and said, here, take care of this for me. And as a fiduciary, they could draw that down. But for the most part, we're all do it yourself over here.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that. I like hands-on and like to know exactly how to do it for myself. But at the same time, I don't want to do it for myself and then put myself a little further behind the 8 ball because I filed something.
Well, personally, I would say also separate the 1040 stuff and the 1041 stuff. I wouldn't put them in the same envelope because they go to two different places anyway. So
no, I would
separate the two.
I filed my 1040. I filed my blue person for this year for last year. But I have not
I heard
filed.
you when you said that, but like any correspondence is what I'm saying is that as you mail stuff out,
okay,
just keep her separate. That's all I'm saying.
Overstood.
Yep. All good. Thank you.
And the most part, we're just putting all of our information in a chat GPT and having them help us create our cover letters.
Yeah, we want to work smart, not hard around here. We got too many things we have to try to do, but always cross-reference stuff as much as possible, like Nathaniel had talked about earlier too, as well, to make sure that everything is covered and you understand what you're sending out. So Should be all good. Suber? Suber?
Yeah, I have another question.
Hold on 1 second, Carolyn. There's somebody else that had a question too. Hold on,
Oh,
honey.
okay.
Suber, you want to unmute yourself?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So, my question is about income tax withholdings. Uh, I've been trying to figure out a way to reduce or eliminate the state income tax withholdings here in New York State. I'm getting killed on city, state, and local taxes here. I have a W-8BN on file with my employer, but for some reason, they're not taking out any federal withholdings, but they're taking out, they doubled up on the amount of state and city withholdings. Is there a way that I can reduce or eliminate those?
Well,
I
there had
haven't
to be a
filed.
form that you filled out for the state that you could just write exempt on.
Yes, I think it's an IT 204 New York State form. So if I write exempt on that,
Yeah,
that would help.
whatever form that they, just like you do on your W-4, when you do for the federal level, you do the same thing for the state level and make sure you write exempt. And your employer also should know what that form is too, and let them know. I need to know what's the tax form that I have that I can send. You could talk to your HR department or whatever payroll,
Yeah,
and they
well,
can tell
she's
you.
pushing back. She's pushing back, because a lot of these employers, they're federal withholding agents for the government, and their goal is to get more money out of you. So
Of
I've been
course.
I've been trying to do that, and she's been pushing back, saying, "Oh, that's not legal," because they're taking out a lot of they're taking out almost $15,000 a year just in Social Security. I'm like, what is going on here? So
Yeah, but state tax is different from the FICA, which is the Social Security and Medicare thing that they do.
okay.
That's different. So are you talking about your state taxes, or are we talking about FICA?
Oh, I'm talking about all of it because they doubling up. Only thing I don't get taken out is federal taxes, but they're taking out New York State, New York City, family PVAC, Social Security.
Nyla, did you want to say something about it?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Are you doing your Schedule C or your A1?
I haven't did anything. I'm trying to get an approach and get a handle on it now.
Right. When you
Which
go
would be
to
done.
file your 1040, you put as losses on a Schedule C for those taxes, and then you
Okay.
file to get those taxes back. Right. That's how we are having to deal with the states, is because the states don't want it, and you want to file your form directly with the state if your employer is not taking your paperwork, because it is the state is the one who's going to be drawing down off of your Social Security person, I'm guessing.
Yes.
But yeah,
Okay.
if you do a business Schedule C or an A1, you can take those credits as a loss on saying that they're your business expenses now, and you can actually get all of those credited back to you.
Okay. Good approach. I appreciate that.
All right, who's next? Wait, hold on. Let me unmute some people. Dawn, you can talk. Miss Christian, you can go after Dawn, and then Carolyn, you're after that. Miss Christian.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, Dawn. I'm sorry, Dawn. You go first.
Okay. Let me turn that down. I just wanted to let people know that I did the another 1040X and 4852 for 2019, and we just got the check, and it's been over a year. So I just want to let people know that stuff's still coming in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, it took a year. Okay.
It took over a year. I was like, whoa.
Did you
and
ever
then
get a freeze code on your tax return?
A what?
A A10 freeze code? Did you ever have an A10 where they froze your refund? Did they ever do that?
Did. Yeah, I did. But this one was actually for my husband that I did. And I did the CP 575s, and it was like over 2 months ago, I think. But I feel like everything got released then, because we also had our 2024. We got part of that. They're trying to fight us on that. So I sent a letter just recently to say, hey, we rebutted that with the 4852. So we want the rest of our refund back. But yeah, I had a freeze. I haven't looked at mine again yet, but I did have a freeze on mine. And I do have also that $250,000 setting. I still haven't called in to do the identity thing because I'm afraid they're going to ask me like, "Oh yeah, where'd this money come from?" But I do have the ES&V 250,000 setting in the IRS right now.
No, they're not going to ask you those type of questions when you do your identity verification. They're just literally doing your verification of identity.
Okay, really?
That's all
Okay.
they're going to do. So don't be afraid. Go ahead and just do that part.
Okay, awesome. That's really all I had.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, when you call them up, you're more than likely dealing with somebody that only sees that they need to verify your identity on the computer, and they won't know to ask you any other questions.
Oh, on me. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Give me a moment. Sorry for the noise in my background. I had a quick question. I'm in the process of actually getting a purchase agreement to buy a house, and I wanted to know if I could take that and use a letter of intent and mail it to the treasury, and they would credit my account for that.
Very good question. I have been asking this question for the longest time, and we don't have an answer for that yet in the community, to be honest with you. I
Okay.
haven't seen it personally.
Okay.
But I know quite a few of us in the background have been trying to figure out the real estate acquisitions piece of it
Okay.
in order to purchase a house. But as of today, I don't think there's an answer for that.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll use my best knowledge and my best judgment, and I'll do it, and I'll see. You know, it don't hurt to try, and I'll see
Right. Report
what
back.
results I get. I
Let us
sure
know.
will. Yes, ma'am. Because it's on my heart, and so I'm gonna go for it.
Okay, then don't hesitate.
All
Hesitation is
right.
the thief of opportunity. Don't hesitate, people.
Yes,
If your spirit is
ma'am.
leading you to do something, then do it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
That's all
Thank
I
you.
wanted. Thank you. Peace and blessings, everyone.
Same to you.
Bye-bye.
Carolyn, you're next, honey. Unmute yourself. Carolyn Brantley, I know you had another question.
Yes, thank you. The gentleman said earlier about he had received a letter about the 1040 ESs, which I have one as well, and they wanted the check or whatever, send the check or whatever. So my question is, can I do have a 670, but it's for a different year? Now would I be able to send that back to
Yeah,
them?
we just answered that about a little bit ago. Saying that just scratch out the date and put in the current year that you want to use it for.
Okay. All
So
right.
you should be good to go.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sylb, SYLB. It looks like you're unmuted. You can go ahead and ask your question or leave your comment or have a
Can you hear
comment.
me?
Now we can.
All right. Greetings to
Hey.
you all. That question on the house was one that came to me also. And the research I did, I'm believing that the Fed wire has something to do with authorizing the Fed wire to release those credits, has something to do with. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm working on it.
Work, girl. Work for the community. So we can all figure this out together.
Well, that's why I wanted to drop that out there. Go in the direction of looking at what the Fed wire does.
Okay. All right.
The Fed wire is a key component in that process, I believe. Just
Miss
thought I'd
Kristen.
share.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Bless you.
Blessings. Decent, you're next. And then after that, ambiguous is next.
You hear me?
Yep. What's up, Decent?
Okay. I think the clearest picture I could convey about this whole thing is that you gotta understand the IRS, whatever, they're all quasi entities. Since they're all quasi entities, they have to report to the Supreme Court. That's one thing. Another thing, when it comes to and it sounds like the Peter Paul getting paid thing, but to make a long story short, everyone uh don't matter if it's a real estate, don't matter if it's a dealership, it don't even matter if it's a store, they all have to deal with, well, I do know in the public they have to deal with, they have to deal with shareholders and attorneys. Anything private with the private companies, they have to deal with attorneys. That's all I'm trying to leeway to that. Nothing more than less. That's my clearest understanding of it all.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Oh, great. Yeah, so I'm hopefully this is the right forum. I'm in the very beginning of this whole process, researching how to set up my pure law common law trust. And one of the first things I attempted to do was the 1040 ESs and Vs. And I received a letter from the IRS. In that letter, they were asking for a canceled check, and it looks like they sent me what looks like a voucher at the end. And so I responded back and sent them all my info, and I endorsed and tried to turn this voucher into a money order, and haven't heard back from them. So then I attempted to call them to figure out what's going on. You know, it's been about five months. Don't see any credits on my transcripts. And the people I spoke to over the phone didn't seem to understand what was going on. And I asked to be connected to like collections, and haven't really made any progress. So I'm questioning if the reason I'm not making any progress is because I don't have my trust and I haven't done the trust steps yet. And maybe I didn't fill out this voucher correctly that they provided. So they sent me a letter with a letter date and for a specific tax period.
Do you still have copies of that voucher?
Yes, I do.
So I would just suggest going to the 903 folder and look for that video that they mentioned, that Nyla had shared from an IRS agent telling you exactly how to fill it out, and just resend it in, just for sake of making sure you kind of like double down on it and see if maybe you didn't do it correctly. I don't know, but there was an IRS agent that spoke about how to exactly fill out, how to endorse the 4 payments 670 voucher and send it in.
Wow. Thank you. I will try and find that video.
So go to the folder that says the 903 inside of the RECOUPERS main group, the big group. There's a folder called the 903, and there should be a video in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I think I've got some other questions that I'm want to make sure that I'm doing everything properly and kind of doing things methodically. So I created using GPT chat to try and help me visualize how the structure should function. And one of the things I noticed was it says when you're creating the pure law common trust, you want to have a separate trust, an administrative trust that handles that's more public facing. If for some reason, I don't know, there was some thing, the legality, or if somehow my trust was under scrutiny, it's best to have a separate trust that handles any banking processes. So I'm just wondering if how I'm structuring things is correct. And
that sounds about right. That doesn't sound bad. That sounds about right.
But how I've structured things is, so I've got my pure law common trust, my administrative trust, and then I might have maybe underneath that administrative trust, it works with my non-for-profit, and my non-for-profit owns all my businesses. I'm just trying to understand like what's kind of the best practice, and what have people found that makes sense, and that's
what I would suggest is that always follow what your spirit tells you to do, and it sounds like you're already guided on how you're setting it up. And I don't think there's going to be a wrong way to do that. We did speak earlier on the call about foreign grantor trusts and making sure that your blue card person is conveyed over to the foreign grantor trust. That would be the only thing that I would call out, and the rest is up to you. It's at your discretion.
Okay. Well,
does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm still researching how.
Yeah.
So. Well, thank you for
taking my call. Sounds like you're doing great.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I posted that video in the chat.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Jedi something. Jedi Skywalker, what's up? You're next. Unmute yourself. Now we only have 10 more
Hi.
minutes, guys. So
Oh,
go,
can
go
y'all
ahead,
hear
Jedi.
me?
Yep, we can. Hey.
Okay. Hey, I just wanted to say hi, and I'm grateful for the group. I wanted to share an experience that I had. I have a special needs daughter, and she's on Social Security disability, and I had to go and set up a dedicated, separate account for her at a credit union, and that's how I received the wire fed. And then I was just going to share, I've received some remedy just through finding this group and previously studying the Brandon Joe Williams and Patrick Devine method and using the post office and money orders. And I had no idea what to do with the CP 575 letters. And now I do, thanks to you guys. So I will be sending that off. But I did have one question. I didn't want to be in the District of Columbia, so when I applied for my EIN, I used America Soma because I wanted it to say America on my estate or my trust, and so I don't have the 9999. And I was just wondering if anyone else has done that, if that could cause an issue or anything like that. And that's it. And I'm very thankful for this group and this information.
Thank you for your testimony. As far as the voucher is concerned, when you got your CP 575 online, so what did the bottom of the voucher look like? Because you said you used
Well,
Soma. I've never known anybody to do that, but tell me more.
Yeah, I did it because I just felt like, well, it's considered the du jour in the Republic, kind of like Hawaii. And I just liked reading about everything, how it was, it's for the native, their laws are for the native people, which is us. We're native to the land because, and so basically it doesn't have the 999 number. It has, and I have seen someone else post a similar number. It's like, I think it's like 500 million, but it's similar to all of the other vouchers that everyone else is getting. It's exactly the same where you put your
Interesting.
number.
Huh.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you registered it it's like it wouldn't be the state of Georgia. You did America Soma instead of register for saying that's where it's going to be registered, basically, right?
Yes, I basically came in like I lived in America Soma, but I used Texas PO Box because I'm in Texas. So yeah, so it says America on there, and I liked it. So yeah,
I like it too. I've never seen that before, but that's interesting. Hey, this is how you learn, trial and error. You have to try new things, and then you know what? You figure stuff out. But like, even though you may not have the 999, you do have a number on there, and you can endorse it with that number and just go from there. It doesn't sound like it sounds like you did something that was right. So sounds good to me.
There was a whisper about using the taxes to write off your whole house mortgage. Is that possible with the 1099 B?
I'm not familiar, to be honest. I don't know anything about that. Anybody
Okay.
else?
well, I'm experiencing something I might could help with the mortgage.
Who's that? Who's saying that? Who's talking?
Jedi,
Oh, go
the
ahead.
mushroom. Yeah, so I went into foreclosure when I came into all of this, and so I just sent off a 1099-A um, and an acquisition of claiming my mortgage. I sent it off with an affidavit and a letter, and then I put a stamp on the back and on the front, and I signed across it. And then I had the post office cancel the stamp because the United Postal Service is they can't just honor that because then they'd be in mail fraud. And so I will let you know what my response is. I just did that on Friday. And so I'm just kind of keeping my fingers crossed and hoping that it gets into the right hands. So, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing. Looking forward to those results. Okay, Pasha.
Yes, hi. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, we can.
Awesome. So I had an issue with American Express. Yeah, I understand it is a bond that they keep sending to us, or like bill. I signed it as a beneficiary in the back. I wrote pay to the order of American Express, and I sent it to their remittance address, and they simply stated that they do not accept this type of negotiable instrument. Yeah, so I'm having an issue with that. So how can I enforce it? Because I know they can refuse that.
I heard that before, but earlier in the call, we had people talking about using the 4 payments and endorsing it to the Treasury, and then they have the Treasury pay your American Express. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Did you hear that part of the call?
I missed it. So I'm going to listen to the recording.
Yeah, this call has been recorded, so
Awesome.
I'll be posting the recording shortly after this call ends, and then you can go back and listen to it.
I have no more questions. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.